Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5 minutes past the hour on this seventh day of August. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told / JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up, wake up. Inspiration in the morning. Oh man, we woke up this morning to some stuff going on from yesterday. First, our prayers go out to everyone that was a part of the mass shooting at Fort Stewart, Georgia, in Savannah, Georgia. I'm going to have to start asking the question after this mass shooting in Georgia, what happened in New York City. Brothers, are y'all okay? I need to start checking on my brother's mental well being. Brothers, are you okay? In the great state of Illinois, there was a bomb threat on the hotel that the people who were a part of the legislature in Texas have fled to stay in as a place of exile, saying that we're not going to be a part of this gerrymandering that they're doing in Texas. They had a bomb threat, had to evacuate the hotel. Oh my God, what is really going on? 6 minutes past the hour. That's some of the stuff that we're going to get into the conversation with, as we always do. We're going to talk about culture, sports, and what's happening in the community. Before I get into it and before I introduce my esteemed panel, that, like I said, I'm never in here by myself. I always got a little help from my friends. If today is your birthday, your anniversary, a special day for you in any shape, form, or fashion, that bell is for you. That bell is for you. Enjoy your day, relish the memories, and make more memories. With that being said, 7 minutes past the hour. Let me bring in, let me first bring in Dapper Dan, my version, my brother, the grand scholar himself down in MIAO, better known as Brother Bowtie Antonio Cope. Good morning, my brother. How you doing this morning, scholar?
Good morning, Scarlett. Hope you're doing well, bro.
Hey, it's another day, man. It is what it is.
Morning, Joe. Drinking is Joe.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Everything is everything, baby. Everything is everything. Not only am I bringing him in, let me bring in the esteemed alumnus of Community Conversations. That's how we started it off. Y'all can go way back before hashtag Truth Be Told. The team and I did this thing we call Community Conversations. We said, look, you live in New York. I live down south in New Orleans. Two cities separated by many miles, but the issues are very much the same. He is the esteemed alumnus of Community Conversations, hashtag Truth Be Told. Ooh, I did it. Tell me about that boy from New York City. You know him from 107.5 WBLS, the open line, online, and keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Fatine is in the building. Good morning, Brother Fatine. Man, turn the microphone on, man. You know we can't hear you. Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on. Look at you. No mic on. Turn your mic on.
I muted it out just in case some background noise. You know what.
We don't need
I'm
that.
sneaking out there, early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Good morning.
We don't need.
Other boys.
Don't need.
I love you gotta get them endorphins released in the morning, brother. Brothers.
Oh, this is gonna be an interesting show.
Thursday. Turn down for what?
Now the bow tie don't know anymore. I tell you, but I like what he said about Joe drinking his Joe.
Do you have
This is not coffee, this is tea. And I like what Joe said, everything is everything, which reminds me of Michael Baisden. And I got a book right here by Michael Baisden. I happen to have it right here. Everything is everything. Don't lie to me. You see, Joe asked the question, we'll get into it when Joe gets to it. We're not all right. Let's stop fooling. If you are okay, we judge people on how we may feel or how we may be doing. People are not okay. These mass shootings are not going to stop. They're not going to stop. Stop preaching, we need to do. They ain't going to stop. What you got to do is try to support people and give people some kind of options out here. And the way this government and the way the world is going, it's a hard place to be, right? That's all I can tell you. It's always been a hard place to be. So you always have to cope. We'll always have to cope. And let's get into it.
It is 10 minutes past the hour, 7th day of August. It is Turn Up Thursday, turn down for what? A lot of parents woke up this morning in the state of Louisiana, turned up for real, because a lot of kids are going back to school. So going back to school is not only beginning here in Louisiana as of today, it's beginning really all over the place, especially all over the South. The
South
August,
Carolina started 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
End of July.
Yeah, in the South, school starts a little different than it does up north or on the eastern seaboard or on the West Coast. Most folks traditionally don't really start school until after Labor Day.
Yeah.
When you know that school is going to start, because Labor Day is kind of like the unofficial official in the summer. But for those who are in these areas that school is starting back, I like to give you a few tips. Number one, school zones are back in effect. If you are driving fast, slow down. Please slow down. In the state of Louisiana, we have a new law that you cannot be in your automotive vehicle and have your phone in your hand. So
It's a good one.
So pay attention. Listen, because I know a lot of you like having the phone in your hand. You cannot be behind the wheel of a vehicle in the state of Louisiana with your phone in your hand. Nobody can do it. You
Let me
can't.
give Louisiana a bell for that, finally catching up, because other states have been doing that
Oh,
for a
yeah.
long time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it
Hands-free.
pisses me off when I have to pass somebody and I see them with a phone in their hand. And majority of people now, from USB to the technology, is that you can connect right to your car and speak right through your car to the people that you want to speak to. So
Now, here
stop
comes.
this.
I'm glad Brother Fatim said something else. There's another law in Louisiana. I'm just going to skim over this law because, like I said, I'm planning on. I was, but then me and some good strategist friends of mine spoke about it. Some people don't even deserve our time of day, so we're not even going to entertain. We're going to let results speak for ourselves when it comes down to elections and things of that nature. There's a law that just passed in Louisiana. I'm loving this law. This law says that if you are in the left lane, you need to be passing somebody and getting back in the right lane as soon as you pass them. Because just cruising in the left lane is now against the law in the state of Louisiana.
They do that on the New Jersey. They do that on the New Jersey Turnpike. I'm not a big fan of that law. I don't like cruising in the left lane, but I think that the left lane should be for those people that are going a little bit more faster and those that are going a little bit slower to the right.
What?
But but now they don't even really want you in the left lane until you're passing. And they tried it in New Jersey. They gave tickets. It don't work. It just doesn't work. I mean, maybe it work in Louisiana. It doesn't work in the New Jersey.
We'll see. It is now, because a lot of folks were, you know, they ran statistics with DOTD, the Department of Transportation here in Louisiana, and come to find out that three of the main reasons for the high fatality rate they have in Louisiana: distractions on the phone, speeding, and folks cruising in the left lane. And then when people try to get over in the right lane, that's where the accident happens. Because they're trying to bob and weave in and out. And that's when the accident happens. So all I can say is the following. If you're on the highways and byways, be careful. Yeah. Here's why. I want you to live the longest life you possibly can, and to leave here by a car fatality on the highway because you wasn't paying attention or being reckless is just shortening your days that I would not want to see nobody's days get shortened like that. Like senseless gun violence. I don't want to. We all got to go, but how you go means something too. Brother Bowtie. So I was thinking about you because you, like myself, live in a state where the governor is Republican. Most of your legislators, I think you have a majority Republican legislator.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how it is in Florida, because here in Louisiana, I can really tell you, because right now I feel like we are the crash dummies for Project 2025 as it has been wrote. Because one of the things our governor is talking about with President Trump right now is something that was in Project 2025, the revamping of how the school system is seen and bringing immigrants in, because you have alligator Alcatraz. Now they're trying to bring immigrants into Angola and make a deal that immigrants are housed in Angola like they are down at alligator Alcatraz. Talk to me.
It's funny you said that, Joe. I don't think it's going to end well for us. First, let me say something about the governor. Our governor, quite interesting. Right now, he's trying to set his wife up to be the governor and run. So I think even the Republicans don't like him. I believe that there's a coup in the Republican Party as a whole to take back the Republican Party from Mega. And I
Mm.
believe it's the same thing with the state of Florida. So I believe that how most people think in the state of Florida, we want anybody else besides DeSantis in there. We don't want his wife, his child, or his dog in there. But
Oh,
but they might but they might I right now we have a couple of good names running for the Democratic Party, and we have two strong Republicans running, and actually we might have our first black Republican governor. um he's been backed by Donald Trump. Actually, that's what's crazy. Um but the laws is quite interesting because they just changed our voting laws, and they
mm,
saying right now pretty much if you don't vote for the when it comes to voting in the state, if you don't vote at your voting poll,
mm-hmm,
your vote don't count. So pretty much you can't even mail in ballots no more.
mm, mm,
Only how you can
mm,
mail in ballots if only if it's for presidential. But far as
mm.
like with the state, you can't mail it in. So it's gonna take quite interest. But also, Joe, the people in Miami in particular, but some parts of Florida, we live like a real free lifestyle. So we don't really care who our governor, we don't care who the president is, because not many times they come in Miami and they try to
Right.
change.
Because
Yeah,
Miami, like New Orleans, it's the city, state,
yeah,
country, continent of Miami. Y'all got
yeah.
your own set of rules. And
They saying, oh, we have an immigrant problem, and in our mind, how Miami folks think. Oh, we need our assets, we need our Cubans, we need our Haitians, we need our
right,
Bahamians. This what make Miami Miami.
right.
I'm African American, so we don't eat. This how Miami people live. If you're African American, you don't eat African American food 7 days a week. If you're Cuban, you don't eat Cuban food 7 days a week. So the typical Miami lifestyle, you're probably going to eat your culture food only 2 days a week.
Mm.
Those other 5 days, you're probably going to explore in the Cuban community, the Jamaican community, the Bahamian community, the Haitian community, so far and so on. But this alligator Alcatraz, Joe, this is why I said it's not going to end well for us. They're getting phone calls. I know you guys don't see it, but on our news, they're showing that there's leaked phone calls because, of course, they snuck phones in there. And they're saying that they're getting beat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Mm-hmm.
saying that they're being forced to do labor work. So it's not even a,
A detention center.
a
It is.
detention center.
It's truly a concentration camp.
Yeah, yeah. And what would happen, what I assume what would happen, based off how I know my people. I've been here for 40 years and I know how the Cubans, the Haitians, and Jamaicans act. In due time, a lot of Cubans gonna make it to Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, whatever they call it. Oh, and it's gonna turn ugly.
Mm.
'Cause you have two side Cubans. You have the pretty much the white Cubans and the black Cubans, and some of the black Cubans are white as well, but they have it's just their mentality. And usually when they team up, yeah, they make some power moves, But I'm interested to see how this gonna go. But I think this facility will close down probably in the next 2 years. Probably, I won't even give it 2 years. If it lasts longer than 2 years, so be it. But I don't think it's gonna last that long.
Well, ultimately, and I'm going to turn it over to Fatim to say this. Just like what you got going on in the state of Florida, I see things in the state of Louisiana, and it really has to do with our knowledge of, as Brother Fatim said yesterday, know your worth and know the worth of your vote. Many of us have been convinced not to vote. That a no showing up to the poll is showing up to the polls in protest. No, you've got to get engaged, get informed, get involved, get the information you need to make a choice on what side you want to stand on, and you need to go vote, because understanding that a not showing up to the poll is voting. It is literally saying that you don't care. And guess what? When you don't care and they begin to divvy out money and do things of that nature in your community, if they look at the numbers and see that you're not voting in your community, that's the reason why you're not getting your share of the money. They don't care. They don't care. You're not the person who's putting me in office. And I need to make sure that those who are going in and pulling the lever and putting me in the position I'm in, they get the resources that they need, because that's all politics is. Politics is knowing where the resources are and funneling those resources to your constituents. And understand this. I'm laughing at folk right now because I looked at some early voting numbers yesterday, and I was like, one of the biggest mouths and one of the biggest individuals who has been elected to office that is talking about an issue, that individual only had 25 people in her district go early vote thus far. So guess what I tell folk? A lot of folks be talking loud, but people ain't listening because what they talking ain't motivating the folks to go do some actionable items. Is what you're saying motivating people to go do something, Brother Fatim?
So I always say, you say a lot. And that's why I always have a pen and paper, because Brother Bowtie said a lot. And, you know, I can get passionate about things, but I'll be cool right now. Like what Brother Bowtie started off, he talked about the coup in the party, which, you know, you saw Charlemagne and God in the news this week. He was on a Fox program and he was interviewed by one of Donald Trump's relatives. I don't know if it's Laura Trump, whatever. Respect to her. She's not a fan of Donald Trump's. And even Charlemagne the God said that, you know, there seems to be a coup within the Republican Party to take it back over from the MAGA folks. I tell you, if you don't know history, then people tend to repeat history. Not history repeat. People tend to repeat history. What happened with the Tea Party? Where were you? This happened with the Tea Party. Same thing happened with the Tea Party. Brother said about this center, detention center. It's going to turn ugly. It's going to turn ugly. People are going to die. Dr. King said, and I've said this before, we want to mention King, we want to mention Malcolm, and a lot of times we want to put them on two sides of the extreme, and they both were saying the same thing. Their methods may have been different, but they were saying the same thing. Dr. King said, for things to change here in America in the 60s, he said that America has to have a radical revolutionary change of values. Radical. Not kumbaya. Let's get along. Radical revolutionary. Understand it. Turn that SOB upside down. That's what Dr. King said. Change of value. You got to change the value system, because this is nothing but a seesaw. As you say, Democrats get back in, their playbook has always have been the same. Well, we're going to get you back, Republicans. And they all, like my brother Layden Toomey said, left wing, right wing, it's all on the same damn white bird.
Same eagle.
There you
Same
go.
bird.
So let's wake the F out. I get tired. I told Joe when we don't see before, I get tired of preaching the same old till my breath gets, no. If you with it, you with it. If you not, get left behind. Now, the next thing here, you look back at dynasties. There have been some great dynasties that have existed, and where are they today? Gone. America is so arrogant. And remember, America is still young. America is not that old. Okay, let's be real about it.
Not even 500 years old.
Exactly. So what happens? Back in the day, they used to overthrow countries or these dynasties or whatever. It was hard to overthrow a dynasty, really hard to kind of do that. But most dynasties, what?
Self-destructive. Right.
Implode. They destroy themselves within. That's what we are seeing with today's American system. I'm in 2 different states. You understand? I vote in South Carolina, but I pay taxes in New York. You understand? So I see the contrast of a blue state and a red state. I don't like the red state. I don't see enough resources out there for people that really need resources. People need help out here. People are suffering. I'm watching how people are living out here. This is going to turn ugly. And when it turns ugly, don't come to Doles and tell, oh, you need to calm down. When Rodney King happened, we were tired of getting beat by the police. When OJ happened, When they applauded OJ, we wasn't applauding OJ. We didn't want Nicole and their brother Goldman to be killed. No. But we applauded OJ because of the systemic racist system here in America that black folks can't catch a damn break. And now our Latino brothers and sisters, and some of them didn't feel like they could use the benefits of blacks that we have fought for, but they don't want to join with us. Now shit is happening to y'all. And then y'all say, where are our voices? Damn it, we told y'all. We ain't begging y'all to come to us. But damn it, wake up now. We've been telling you what's happening. Brothers and sisters, all I can tell you is get with the program, because if you don't get with the program, you're going to get left. And like I said, these brothers here are religious, God-loving men. And I love this brotherhood thing here. No disrespect to the sisters, and but I think yesterday we had some great man talk, and sometimes us men need to sit down and have some conversation and have some real talk. That was real talk yesterday.
You
I'm telling y'all.
You remember on the movie Batman with the villain Bane?
Yes.
Bane.
Yeah.
I was in the dark.
This is going to sound crazy, but I believe that once we accept truth, we accept freedom. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with the American people. Eventually, what's going to happen, probably in the next 10 to 20 years. Lord willing, I'll still be here to watch the movie. But once the American people realize that they're being lied to about a lot of things, they will require freedom so they can live. But it will bring chaos to the whole entire United States. And unfortunately, those who work in politics, work in government, they're going to be the first target, and unfortunately, my son has a future at working in politics, but I was
let me comment on that. That's why I said, brother, you really say a lot of things, and I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, and I'm gonna say this here, and I just no disrespect. Brother Bowtie says a lot of things that, and Joe knows, I pick up on what y'all say. I wish y'all would drill down sometime on what a lot of this brother say. Don't just gloss over to the next topic, because he says a lot of good things and y'all jump to the next topic. He said, if you accept truth, then there will be freedom. But then you came back and said there will be chaos, because that's where I was going. Because if you accept the truth, you expose the lie. And I said, don't lie to me. So when you expose the lie that, I hate to say this, but white folks have been living this lie for the longest. And when you expose, just like you right now, we know that the people in the scriptures are black. We know that. Ain't debating that with nobody. But if you get the whole religious world to accept that, there's chaos. So if you accept the truth, those that lived and believed that lie, they will die for that lie. That's where there will be chaos. That's why I said, when you said, if you accept the truth, there will be freedom. Maybe there will be a road to freedom. I don't know. I don't think so, because I think that the way the scriptures is written, this is going to perish, because man cannot govern themselves properly and accordingly. The truth will set you free, but those that have lived the lie will continue to try to live the lie, because that lie has kept them in power, and they will not want to lose their power. They will rather die. Remember the old saying, I'd rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. I'd rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. That's the devil. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Yes, brother, there would be chaos.
And the truth about the matter is, and I think you said something, Brother Bowtie, and Brother Fatim, you hit on it too. And many a times we don't want to talk about that one thing. Many of us, not all, but many of us don't know how to play our position if our position is not the lead. Many of us don't know how to have a supporting role. Many of us don't know how to fade back. Many of us don't know that in certain situations, you can't be the first person up front, because you can't be the first person up front in everything. You've got to know that there are seasons and positions. And guess what? You might be the lead person in one position, but you might be a backup person in the others. Some of us, unfortunately, when it comes down to progression, because Brother Fatim said it best, a lot of us have what I call the rocking horse syndrome. A lot of motion, lot of moving, lot of doing this, but we ain't going nowhere.
No
All you
movement,
see is
motion, no movement.
motion and no movement, and that comes from sometimes, as great as Brother Fatim is, Brother Fatim, there are multiple things I can say. We need Brother Fatim to be the front man. But Brother Fatim has enough wisdom to know he can't be the front man in everything. So with that, and that is the problem with a lot of our leaders. A lot of our leaders don't know when to stop always inserting themselves into places and situations that really you need to back up a little bit. Back up,
They don't
back
know
up,
when to get off the stage.
and hold it. Watch this, right? And guess what? That's why, and Brother Fatim says this all the time. And speaking of which, we have a very nice young man in the green room about to come on and do sports. You know, I had a brother ask me, man, I like Elijah. Why did you bring this young man in? Here's why. Do you not know I got a whole list of sports people I know who have asked me to come on here and do sports? But like Brother Fatim said, what are we doing for the younger generation? What are we doing for those to say, hey, man, who, guess what? I can give a lot of old heads some opportunities, some cats that I done did great sports with. I brought Brother Elijah in here because Brother Elijah is what is next. He is what is next now. Speaking of which, 32 minutes after the hour, let's bring him in. He's down in Knoxville, Tennessee, been covering the Tennessee Vols and all the sports in that area. It is none other than Elijah Nixon. Family, put your hands together. Elijah, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
That, my brother.
Those practices are killing. We got one more on Friday. I think we got a few more next week, but
Brother Elijah, man, you doing a great job, man. I was looking at some of your videos yesterday. Oh my God. And you just one, I woke up, man. You look professional. For sure. For sure. It's coming.
Hey,
it's coming.
Doing what you do, brother. Keep doing what you do, man. I love it, brother. Love it.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
No, go ahead and talk about my Dolphins.
It's actually about Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if you've seen. Yeah,
Tampa
yeah.
Bay.
Going to Tampa Bay. I mean Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they signed with Tampa Bay, but he addressed the high school thing for the first time. I don't know if you guys seen it.
What did he say?
The reporters asked about it, and I'll paraphrase. They asked about it, and we'll go back. I don't know if you knew about it, but basically he was suspended from being a high school coach because he was paying for Uber rides and these kids' meals, and he wasn't supposed to do that. And he was a head coach in Miami for a high school football team. So he was suspended. They told him that he was doing the wrong thing for basically investing back into his community and these kids. That it's a public high school that I'm not saying that everyone is hurting for something, but they don't really have much benefits like a private school where they have money in their pockets and a support system around them. So he was suspended because of that. So recently he signed to be with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be basically, I don't want to say a backup quarterback, but he is right now under Baker Mayfield. But they asked him about the situation, and he said, paraphrasing, I just wanted to do right because when I signed up to be a high school coach, I'm kind of like a father figure, and I wanted to make sure the kids got rides to school, they had meals and stuff like that. That's why I did it. I didn't do it with no ill intent or anything like that. But that was what he said to the media, and I just want to know what y'all thoughts on how he handled the situation now that he's a backup for Tampa Bay.
So I stay in Miami, and that's one of my rivalry high schools, Miami Northwestern. But Miami Northwestern, they was ranked number 1 in the nation, I think at least 7 times in the last 40 years. So they have a great football program. And I'm familiar with the neighborhood because I stay across the street. Like literally across the street is some projects, like one of the roughest projects ever. I'm sure if you ever watched First 48, the Porky Bean Projects, that's it directly across the street from Miami Northwestern Senior High. So what he said is truthful, very, very truthful. A lot of those kids, they don't have much. They don't have access. They don't have food. The hell would have been in public school. these people, some of these kids are really suffering just in their household. Like going to school is actually a hope that they could possibly get a meal or they can get an education or something like that. So Teddy Bridgewater, I made a Facebook post probably like 2 weeks ago, went real viral. But he's like, I call him our town hero. Like Miami breed football players, but there's nobody done the work what Teddy Bridgewater did. We have Trash Power Stadium where all our big high school football games play at. He helped rebuild that stadium. We have Bunch Park, which is a local city park in Miami Gardens. He helped rebuild that whole park because that's the Little League Optimist team he played on. Teddy Bridgewater, he's known in the city of Miami for just popping up in a restaurant and paying for everybody food, signing autographs. So I didn't think he did anything less that represents his character. You know, he'll be honored far beyond when his career is over. Like, okay, he's that. And don't worry, when he's retired, there's gonna be plenty of high schools say, don't go back to the West. You know that's where you graduated from, but come to this school, like come to that school, and even if he don't coach, he still will be celebrated in our city. But I think that's it speaks a lot about his character and his integrity, and I don't think we give brothers like that enough credit.
You know, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I'm going to throw it over to Brother Fatim, Brother Elijah. It's damned if you do. If we don't support our community, if we don't go back and give back, then the first thing they say is all you did was left home, left the home base, and you forgot about where you came from. Then if you go back and you try to help those who are less fortunate than you, then they try to make it seem like you paying folks off. You know, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And the crazy thing is, and I think the best way to say it is, I'm sick and tired of folk always trying to demonize us as black men. They always trying to demonize us. We can't do right. That's our name. Can't do right. You know, no matter what it is. When we're a father, you can't do right. When you're a husband, you can't do right. When you're a good black man, you can't do. They always try to make it seem like we are some type of individuals that can't do right. Black men have an inherent trait called can't do right. And they try to
I left this out, Joe.
Go ahead.
Now,
Go ahead, Brother
what most people don't know is the people behind him getting fired from his coaching job is actually black. They actually work at the school.
Hold it. They send us to get us. Hold it. Let me say something. Hold it. And I'm gonna go to Brother Fatim. I'm gonna say this and get out the way. Just like in anything, it ceases to amaze me how a black man can say something and blacks will criticize what that black man said if it was right, wrong, or indifferent because they don't like the black man. A white man can come and say the same thing a black man said, and most of the times you will hear from a majority of the black folks, if they're not real black folks, and a lot of you not real, crickets. We just had that happen in my area. A white man said something about voting for a tax. I ain't heard one black person who has been to the high heavens, don't vote, mention his name and say, oh, this fool here said vote for the tax. You know, he's stupid. But let a black man say it, we stupid. Brother Fatim.
So Brother Elijah asks, how do we feel on this? I live by, and I think that, you know, for my introduction to Brother Elijah was him and his parents. When I say coming on here, of course, I've seen the show. And that motto is it takes a village, not just a family, it takes a village. And this brother, kudos to him. He did what he had to do. Sometimes you have to step out of the box. He didn't do this with no ill intent. He said that out of his own. We know what we come from. We know that if you late for school and your grades are not on par, then you can't be on the team. If you're late, you can't make practice. You got practice before class. Sometimes you don't have money because you got practice after school and the school bus is gone and your parents don't have a car, so I have to Uber them home. He did what he had to do. And sometimes you have to bend for excellence. You look at they made a movie out of it. Joe Clark, the principal in New Jersey. He did what he had to do. He didn't chain them doors for ill intent. He needed to keep that element from inside his school because he was trying to create an environment because they don't care about us. We have to care about ourselves. Now, this brother is an NFL coach. Y'all have created a monster, but a good monster. Because you know what now? He can donate. The organization, if they choose to, can really put some money behind and help these kids out. So I give this brother kudos. I will reach out to him. I would like to do an interview with him because we have to uplift those brothers and sisters that are doing things. And I'll be honest with you. I can't just put color on this one because they don't do this to always all Black people. They do this to some white people too. So I'm not going to do this on this one. But we do. And like I said, there is 2 rulers to measure the same inch when it comes to us. But for this one, kudos to this brother. And if you have a contact for this brother, I would love to reach out to him because we need to spotlight him and uplift him. And I'm definitely going to let Reverend Sharpton know about this because he needs to be spotlighted for the work that he's done. And for him to be scapegoated like that, I am glad the NFL team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, correct?
Yeah.
Right. The Bucs.
I'm glad that they brought this brother on. And that's Terry Bridgewater?
Bridgewater, yeah.
Terry.
Terry Bridgewater. I want to say his name. Say his name.
He also played for his
Teddy.
home. He also played for his home team. He played for the Miami Dolphins as well, though. So
Teddy Bridgewater. Say his name, y'all. Teddy Bridgewater. We gotta uplift those. We can't wait for other people to elevate us, man.
Yeah.
We can't let the 60 Minutes do it.
Now, I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna get with you, brother Fatigue. Listen, you know, you got that Mets jersey on.
Yes, sir.
Now I know.
Yes, sir.
I know.
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
What part of New York you from? You from what?
Born and raised in Brooklyn, baby.
How you become a Mets fan? That's on Queen.
You got to realize that Ebbets Field was Jackie Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Ebbets Field. I went to Jackie Robinson IS 320 right across the street from Ebbets Field, where the stadium used to be, and now it's the housing project. So my father was a National League fan. He was not an American League fan. So for me, I followed my father with the New York Mets, and of course, I'm not one of those Met fans that hated the Yankees because the Yankees in 76, 77, 78, I rooted for them. I'm a big Jackson, Rivers, Mickey Rivers, Willie Randolph, Chris Chandler's fan, and so on. But that's how I became a national. I'm from Brooklyn, and Brooklyn had a National League team, and we lost that, and they went west and became the LA Dodgers.
Well, you want to know what else they lost?
Mm.
They lost 8 games in a row, brother. The Mets lost 8 games in a row.
Yeah, you want to talk about how many games in a row the Yankees lost?
Talk to me, man. What's going on? They lost 8 games. Talk to me. What's going on? You guys know.
Well, yeah. So I don't make no excuses. They playing some good teams out there. They just got swept by the Guardians. And they still in the playoffs, in the wild card right now, and they're only about 3 games behind Philadelphia. So we'll see. They got to go head to head with Philadelphia, and we'll see. So let's revisit this. Since it's August, I'm glad you brought up baseball because y'all talk a lot of football, and it'll be baseball season. So let's revisit this in the mid-September. I'll be back around mid to end of September. Let's talk a little bit about New York.
I got nothing against the Mets. I got nothing against Mets fans. Just listen, let me tell y'all something, Joe, brother Brotie. Mets fans is as worse as Cowboys fans. They think every year is the year.
I was going to brother up with the New York Knicks when he come up to get in the New York Knicks. Okay, I don't know about now, boy.
Hey, the question is, hold up, because your hold on. So when was the last time the Mets won the series?
86.
Okay.
86. I was 1.
Okay. I was fresh. I was my first. That was my first year in college.
80.
I was a freshman.
86. Matter of fact, I walked out. I was watching the game with my mom's, and I walked out on the game that they went down. They were losing, and in 2 outs. And I walked out, and when I was coming home, people say, the Mets won last night. I said, no, they didn't. And they came back and they won that game with 2 outs, and they won that game. I've been to both I've covered the ticker tape for a race. I didn't go to it. I covered. So I'm in the street, you know, in the street with them going down the line. I tell you, that 86 ticker tape parade was one of the best ticker tape parades I've ever been to.
Right then.
Hey, I mean, we've had some real ticker tape parades. Nobody does it better than New York when it comes to ticker tape parades because of the skyscrapers and, of course, you know, the paper that they can do and stuff like that, and the long avenues there. So, but 86 was the last time the Mets won. The Yankees have won since then, and we'll see. But New York sports is New York sports. And, you know, we have a lot of teams here that can go from hockey to baseball to football to basketball. So we got to do better on the football.
Staying on baseball, do you think Ohtani's, I mean, what is he, Japanese, right?
He's Japanese.
So do you think
Konnichiwa.
do you think he's the baddest Japanese baseball player there was? Because I think he's the baddest in the game today.
I think first for me to be introduced to Japanese ball players was Sada Adaho. You know, and he was out when doing Hank Aaron, and he hit more home runs than Hank Aaron. But I think that he is the baddest Japanese player that I've seen. I mean,
followed by
Ichiro. And the reason why I put him over Ichiro is that he can pitch.
Oh yeah,
that's the difference.
He a bad boy.
Pitch, he can feel, he can throw, but now they're preserving him because of the injury, and now he's back to pitching. But I think, he's the best Japanese ball player that I have seen following Ichiro. Sada Adaho, when it came to power, was one of the most powerful home run hitters that the game of baseball has ever seen.
It's 14 minutes. 14 minutes to the top of the hour.
But for us, to get back on the football side, they're talking about trading Shador. For you guys, where do you think he would land? Where do you think? What's a good spot?
I need him to come to Miami.
Listen. Where you want him to go? Where do you want him to go, Elijah? That's my question. You know what? Hold it right now. Hey, because the word kind of that got out, y'all better not, because the word got out. Mike Tomlin kind of spilled it out. Mike Tomlin said, we've lost some important players to some big time rivals. He said, don't mess around and let us get. His exact words was, don't mess around and let us get one more defensive piece.
Well, let's answer this question.
What you trying to say? You going after Michael Parsons?
Hint. Don't let us get one more defensive piece. I'm telling y'all, you just don't want that. You just don't. Hold it. I'm gonna put you the scenario. You put TJ Watt on one side. I can give you a multiple. I give you two people I would want. I want
wait, Joe, you ain't answering this question.
I want Clowney or Parsons on the other side. So go ahead, brother Fatim.
Really answer this question. So it's a lot of. I can't break it down all the way. I think I would love to see him come to the Jets. I would love to see him come to the Jets or the Giants. I mean, I'm New York, but the team, Green Bay has who? What's his name? That left.
Love.
So where did my man go from the Jets?
Who?
Where did he go?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, where did Rodgers go?
He's Steelers.
Oh, he went to the Steelers. Bro, so who's the backup to Rodgers right now?
That's the point.
Shador should go to the Pittsburgh. See,
hold it. That's where I listen.
Yeah, that's
Elijah,
where he should go.
You heard me say that when they skipped over him in the draft. They had an opportunity to draft.
Yeah, he should go Pittsburgh.
I was completely messed up that they didn't do that because I thought that there would be enough influence from his father to Tomlin and the administration, along with, because you got to understand his whole collegiate career. Who was he hanging with? Just let us be truthful. Shador's whole collegiate career, who was he hanging with? Tom Brady.
Brady.
Yeah,
He should go to Pittsburgh. Just be factual about it. Tom Brady.
But my thing is to you. I think he's good enough to compete and try for a starting job. Now, if he go to Pittsburgh, of course, he's going to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. I think if he go to
for just 1 year, and I think he should sit behind 1 year.
And if he goes so if he goes to Miami, I think he sits behind 2. But if he goes to the Jets, that's fair game. I think he could compete with Justin.
Okay, but listen to this, Elijah.
Here's the problem. In my
There's no problem with that. Ain't no problem with that.
There is a problem. The problem is, if you watch how he played at Colorado, and I think Shedeur is an outstanding player. Once again, how you make it in the pros has a lot to do with your offensive line and your protection. And let me say this. Unfortunately, I don't want Shedeur to get on a team that don't have an O-line that can protect him and the boy really get really hurt. That's where I stand on it. I stand on that. Because I think Shedeur carries a lot of weight in the culture. And I do not want to see that man go on a team that don't have an O-line that can protect them and literally get hurt. Because you know there's some folks that want to hit Shedeur just to say, I took him out.
You gotta start, nobody expected Washington to do what they did last year. So, you sometimes you have to get that piece. And I think Shedeur, everybody can't play in New York. And I think that him coming to New York, they're not going to win it in the first year, but he will attract other players to come and create that team. Sometimes you got to get these pieces. Sometimes it just doesn't come all together right away. So, I mean, going to Pittsburgh is fine. But if you go to the Jets, and I like what Elijah said, it's fair game. And then by it being fair game, it gives him the opportunity to shine. It gives the opportunity to give these Jets players some motivation. Remember, the Jets line is not that bad. They're not that bad. So okay. I think the Jets is a fair game, and okay. Pittsburgh would be a good game because he gets behind NFL Hall of Famer and get chance to learn the ropes. And if Rodgers goes down, brother steps in.
I like what we just said there.
I think he's a starting quarterback. I'm just my honest opinion. But me, without being, selfish and saying, okay, Miami, I think he might end up where his daddy started his career. I think he might end up as a backup in Atlanta, to be honest, though.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be hella interesting right there.
Yeah.
I just want you to do it.
But however, though, I
don't care where it goes.
I
don't care where it goes. I want him to do well because, once again, Shedeur carries a lot of weight in the culture. A lot of these young black men who are student athletes right now, they look up to Shedeur because Shedeur and his father and the model that the Sanders family has put out there, they literally have said, they have literally said, we are free from the plantation and we're going to do what we got to do. And guess what? That freedom we were talking about early, sometimes there got to be a person to go out there and sacrifice himself that we begin to line up and say we can be free. The Nat Turners. There has to be sacrifice for freedom. Freedom don't come free. Somebody normally has to die in some shape.
There has to be chaos, Joe.
Right? There has to be.
Truth, chaos, then freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a tough.
But I would love, I'll back up quarterback in Miami. Huntley, he had end up going to who he just signed with? Our backup quarterback T Huntley just signed with somebody, but so that pretty much we got an open position in Miami. I mean, like from what I'm hearing at the camps, like the second, third, and fourth screen quarterbacks suck. So I heard they barely touch the field. It's just tour.
So let's do this right now. Give me your top 4 NFL teams. Okay, who you think? Give me 4 teams that you think may win the Super Bowl this year. I'll start with Brother Fatim.
Don't start with me. No, don't start with me.
Let me start with Brother Bowtie. Give me 4 teams. Hold it. I'll start it off.
I can go.
Okay, wait, no. Here's my 4 teams that I feel has the possibility of winning the Super Bowl this year. Kansas City, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington Commanders. I said my 4. Next.
Brother Bowtie?
Brother Elijah or Brother Bowtie? Go.
Washington, Miami Dolphins, Eagles, and Steelers. Mahomes not going this year.
Brother Elijah?
Well, let Elijah go last. He's the sports guy. Let me just jump in here. He's the sports guy. Philadelphia Eagles, Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills.
You didn't say your Cowboys? What? You didn't say the boys. Y'all ain't the boys this year.
I'm not gonna clown with a sports brother here. I ain't gonna-
Joe, can we shoot?
Hold on, brother T. Hold on. You a Cowboys fan? Hold on.
I had Cowboys on yesterday. You ain't see what I had on yesterday?
That boy is a real Cowboy.
Dude, I'm a sports dude.
Hey, did you hear who he said? I want you to say the 4 again, Fatigue. Say the 4
Buffalo
again.
Bills number 4, KC number 3, Ravens number 2, and of course the Eagles number 1. Number 5, if I had to put a 5 there, would be Washington.
No, we said 4. We didn't say
I did 4.
5.
I did 4. I think if there was 5, I would be
The
Washington.
Cowboys ain't still making it number 5.
Nah, they ain't making it there. No, they ain't making it there, man. The way you treated the morale on the team, bro. You know, I mean, we'll see. You got to get into the playoffs and prove that you can do something. And I cannot. I mean, I root for my team.
That's
I root for my team.
Cowboys
But you
fan.
just asked, who do you
You're not
think
a
are the top
delusional
4
Cowboys
teams
fan. I
that could
love
win
it.
the Super Bowl? I gave you those 4 teams because I have to look at it from an actual strategic point of view.
I just got one question. So you like the Mets in baseball? You like the
Damn right.
Cowboys in football? Who do you like?
Damn right. Knicks.
Bro.
That's where y'all connect.
Y'all can't say nothing. You can't say a word, Elijah.
Hold on. Wait. I just got one more question.
That's your hold it. Believe it or not, Fatim is your pass into Madison Square Garden. I promise you.
Hold on. I got one question.
Yes, sir.
You got any hair left? How, man? How they stress you out every year? The Mets stress you out.
Come on, baby. Come on, brother. What you talking about? What you talking about?
Hey, bro. Just to let you know.
What you talking about, bro? That's it, baby. Hairline and everything, bro. Spring chicken, baby. Come on, baby. Y'all got any hair left? Oh, you surprised, huh? With this hat.
Yo, because you know what? I ain't gonna lie, because those teams stress you. I know the Knicks stress me out, but I know Knicks fans and I know Cowboy fans. Every year is the same thing. It's the same thing.
Same thing over and
I know
over.
the Knicks. But my 4 teams I got that could win a Super Bowl is the Los Angeles Rams, the Rams, the LA Rams, and Los Angeles. I'm not putting nobody else in there.
Now that's a LA fan. That's a Rams fan there. Hold it. Who your 4 teams is gonna win the Super Bowl? The Rams, and the Rams.
Because in the Super Bowl for Elijah, the Rams will be playing the Rams. That's why the Rams will win.
That's it. There ain't gonna be nobody else in the Super Bowl.
I do think my Rams could win it. I think the Steelers could win it, and I think it's gonna be between the Buffalo Bills and possibly the Kansas City Chiefs yet again.
You got to watch them Bills. You got the Bills, because the Bills is just overdue. They overdue, just like the Ravens. The Bills and the Ravens, though I didn't put the Ravens in the mix. The Bills and the Ravens are overdue. But I'm going to say this, though. And once again, y'all are not paying attention. And I know we brought it up in the same conversation, but I hate to say this, and please don't get mad at me for saying this. But when you put the conversation of the starting quarterback of the Commanders and Shedeur, they not even in the same conversation, baby. They ain't even the same conversation. Listen,
Don't sleep Detroit. Don't sleep Detroit. Don't sleep Detroit. Do not sleep Detroit.
You know what, Joe? I'm gonna say this. It's probably gonna sound crazy, but my favorite quarterback is Dan Marino. But I believe Josh Allen is just a Dan Marino.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's a good quarterback. I believe he can take you to the playoff, but I don't think he ever will win a Super Bowl. Now, if he do, it'll be shocking. I don't even think he's gonna make it to the Super Bowl. Dan Marino made it to the Super Bowl, but he is a good quarterback. And you can be great without winning the Super Bowl, because Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl, but you can't talk about top 10 quarterbacks without mentioning his name.
We can talk the talk all we want to, but the truth about the matter is every team we mention, you got to look at one thing, because that's what wins championships: defense. Mm-hmm. Every team we mentioned, what you really got to do. I know we talk about their offensive weapons and how they cold-blooded with this and how they got veteran this, But the teams that in the last 10 years who have won Super Bowls, they won Super Bowls because of one thing and one thing only: defense. And if you ain't looking at those teams' defense and they defense can't stop other folks' offense, I'm going to go back to a Michael Jordan saying. Mike said everybody can score in the NBA, but everybody can't stop you from scoring in the NBA.
But it's the thing about Buffalo, to me, it's just it sounds like the same broken record, but it's just been one team that held them from the Super Bowl every year. And nobody else beaten Buffalo. They beat the Ravens in the playoffs. They beat the Broncos, and they beat a lot of teams. The only team they really have not beat was the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs knocked them out the divisional round. They lost them out the AFC conference. They knocked them out with 10 or 15 seconds left in the ball game. They knocked them out last year for 4th and 1. It's not like Buffalo isn't right there. It's just one mistake that kills them every time from going to the big dance. That's all.
Did you mention Buffalo? You didn't. I'm the only one that mentioned Buffalo then.
Right. Hey, and I applaud you on that, man. I applaud you. So it's 1 minute after. We're going to hurry up and try to get out here in 15 minutes. I want to also just dive down a little rabbit hole with Elijah for a minute. And speaking about my Steelers, let's talk about a former Steeler who I happen to be very fond of. And me and the brother talked at Essence, had a great conversation. That's Ryan Clark. Ryan has been very outspoken about the WNBA's current pay. And he said, let's keep it real. If the WNBA was full of white players, they would have been paid by now. And my question is, do you feel that Ryan, by interjecting the race card, because some folks are saying, y'all put the race card in everything. I think what Ryan said was spot on and 100% factual, actual, and true. Sometimes people get mad because the truth ain't what they want to hear. But I believe what Ryan said was absolutely correct. And how do you feel about it? He said if it was full of Caitlin Clarks, they'd be done got paid by now.
I got to jump in here real quick. So what he said, he didn't say nothing that's false, but it's not 100% true. And the reason why it's not 100% true, go back to the women's soccer players. Go back to collegiate, the collegiate NCAA Division I women. You look at how their hotel accommodations, how they're treated, and how they pay. This is a sexist thing. This is not a racist thing. You can interject race in here, but it's a sexist thing. This world is a sexist thing. It's other folks and other men, other coaches. Remember, a coach got fired from a soccer team because he interjected his opinion, pay these women. So I believe it's more of a sexist thing. Race factors in, but I think that if the WNBA was a lot more white, I don't know, because in the soccer, you got a lot more white women. You got a lot of you, and again, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not, you can't say racist.
No.
I'm just saying, but it's to me, it's more of a sexist thing. This country is a sexist country, a racist country, and it all interjects. They run parallel and they intertwine together. Right. So he didn't say anything wrong, but I also look at it as being more of a sexist thing.
I think it's a combination of both, brother Fatim, and here's why I say that. We were talking about NILs yesterday in Louisiana, and what one person said that really, I didn't know this. It's kind of like when you talk about coaches' salaries, and a lot of folks don't understand. The highest paid state official in most states is the coach of the flagship university, wherever that state is. But in Louisiana, we were laughing because one of the highest NIL deals in Louisiana is not a football player or a baseball player. Is not even a male. One of the highest NIL deals that ever got signed in the state of Louisiana at LSU was for the LSU gymnast. So once again, the female gymnast at LSU, she got buku NIL and followers and all kind of stuff. And once again, I think that's also, as you say, sexist, because one person kind of said it, be exact, a woman said it. She said, yeah, the reason is because she fine, she blind, and certain folks like looking at a certain type woman, that's their standard. So that's what it is. But like you said, I think it's a combination of racism and sexism. Brother Elijah, Brother Bowtie, how y'all feel about that? What Ryan Clark said.
I think I think personally, and I want y'all to stay with me because I'm about to say something that's probably off the rail, but the to me, it's a mixture of the sexism, but I think it's really because there's no elevation. And hear what I say by that. The WNBA I don't think it was an all-white league like baseball. Baseball was an all-white league. Jackie Robinson Jackie Robinson elevated that game. Basketball was an all-white game, and then Wilt and those guys, Dr. Jade, and for Michael Jordan, they elevated that game. Football was an all-white game, and then our blacks came in there and started. Jim Brown started to elevate that game. With WNBA, when it started in 1996, it was already black people. So what I mean by that is that the game never elevated. When the black people started going to those major leagues, we were seeing stuff that we never seen before. Dunks. We were seeing some type of athleticism. We were seeing everything. And then now we're sitting here watching like, all right, but when women's basketball started, we was already there. Like what difference did it look like from 1996 to now besides team expansions? That's really what it looked like. I mean, don't get me wrong, different owners, different stuff like that. That's really it.
Hold it. If anything, Elijah, it was the reverse. It started off with a bunch of blacks and you didn't see no whites. Now all of a sudden you start to see the Caitlin Clarks. It's almost what happened to white culture in women's basketball is what happened to black culture in the other sports. You're right about that.
I don't know. I think Elijah's right about the elevation part because there was exclusion in the other sports. When WNBA started, it was inclusion, and it's finally a sport that came in the way it's supposed to come in, where you're not excluding people because of their race.
Now I'm gonna go.
Let me just finish this and then. So by it coming in, it was already elevated. It was already elevated over the other sports because they had the inclusion. The problem is where the sexism came in is that they lowballed them because they were women. And that's where the problem was. Because even though you said there was no elevation, I believe they came in as a more elevated sport compared to the past sports because of racism. But I think that when they came in because of the sexism, they didn't get paid. The bow tie.
Now I'm gonna go a different angle. I don't believe that sexism has anything to do with it or racism. I think it's just more of the culture. I don't even think that even women like women basketball. No disrespect to anyone who's part of the LGBTQ community. But
did you see the ratings of the last two championships in the NCAA? Did you see the ratings? Who had the highest ratings? Women or men? But you don't think women like? Okay.
But that comes from pretty much, let's be honest, that comes from two players. It came from the whole rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese.
Angel Reese,
that's
right.
It.
Angel.
That's it. Now the number's going to go back down. But what I'm trying to say is, if they had to depend on only women for their sport to continue to exist and do whatever and make money, will they make money? Pretty much, events like LeBron James. He's the highest paid basketball player ever. If the women had to depend on other women, if the women in the WNBA had to depend on all the other women fans around the world of WNBA to support their sports, will there be a LeBron James in the WNBA? And the answer is no, because women don't like women's basketball like that. They don't find it entertainment. And most of the time, heterosexual females don't find it entertaining at all because that's not what they're there for. Now, you look at the other end, look at our sports. If you remove every woman who don't like football, will we still have a highest paid quarterback? Yeah, because men love football with or without a woman. The same thing with basketball. We love basketball with or without a woman. Now, you look at some sports that does great with women sports. Volleyball. Women love volleyball and men love volleyball. Now, men probably love it for the wrong reasons. But we gonna watch a volleyball game for sure. That during the Olympics, that's one sport we gonna pay attention to. No matter what country they from, we gonna watch that volleyball game.
And track.
So I think the issue is
and track.
So I think the issue is the support of other women. And Ryan Clark bringing in the race thing, I'm just gonna call it a buck. WNBA has always been a black sport, as Elijah said, and it's not gonna never go nowhere. It's always gonna belong to us. I don't care if they bring in a handful of white, Spanish, or whatever. It's gonna be majority blacks, and I don't think they have anything to do with the finance. It's just that they don't have the support from women around the world saying, "Okay, let's make this sports popular." NFL is not even in every country, but some way, somehow, the NFL produce millionaires every year without
Look at the
support from other
sponsorship.
countries.
Look at the
Right,
sponsorship.
right,
Look
right.
at look at the kind of sponsorship. So well, let me put this statement out because I'm not calling Brother Bowtie a male chauvinist, but some of your
You are.
statement. No, I'm not doing that. But some of your statement have some male chauvinist to it, and the reason this is why we need a woman now, because I think a woman will back our asses up, or back that damn statement up. I think this is a male. I don't think. I know this is a male chauvinist society. This is a white man society in the sense of the power structure. Call a spade, and I think that you have some truth there. My opinion. My opinion don't mean nothing. That you do have some truth there about
your
who
opinion
likes the
means-
sport. There,
your
no, he
opinion
does. He has
is
some truth there.
It's
But I
right.
also look at it from us being men. That sometimes we see it through our eyes and don't see it through women's eyes at the end of the day. And for me, just listening to women on this topic, I back the women. That's why LeBron has backed the women. That's why a lot of other people back the women. That's why the other gentleman said what he said to you, Joe, because we see the reality, what is happening here. And the reality is when you put the race and the sexism. Now, Brother Bowtie said he don't see both. And I get it. That's his opinion. And I'm glad he put that into this equation. But remember, fellas, this is a male chauvinist society. And a lot of times we don't speak out for a lot of women unless they're backed into the corner. A lot of times when it's time for us to speak out for women, we don't do it until it becomes more of an issue that everybody's talking about. And that's because the society that we are in causes us to look at things from a different point of angle, especially as being black men in this society.
But this is why I say it didn't elevate, because I see where Brother Bowtie come from. Like, to be honest with you, the more the storylines are more in college than it is in the pros. Think about it. When you have the NCAA women, their storylines are way better than what you got in the pros. You have Dawn Staley, who's going for this. You got I'm about to say Jim Calhoun. Gino Auriemma's going for this. You got Tennessee's basketball coach. Like, everybody has their own thing going on, like with a storyline in NCAA. Like Mylasia Fuali just transferred from South Carolina to LSU. That game is circled on February 14th.
Right.
But when you get to the pros, it's like, what's your drama? There's no drama. That's why I say it's no elevation.
You are not
like
entertained.
WNBA is like
everybody wants to be entertained.
Yeah.
Because there's a
Are
story.
you not yet entertained?
There's a story with every game. There's a story with every game that the media is going to look for to say, hey, this is what's going to sell. We got to sell this point of it. And I mean, they could try to make something of people beefing and some people not beefing, but they're going to make it seem like it's one
to be honest, brother Elijah. To be honest, brother Elijah, I think, me personally, and matter of fact, not only I think, I know that college basketball, women's basketball, sell more tickets than the WNBA.
Yeah.
They have more people show up. Like how I view the WNBA, it's like, okay, you made it to play at Rutgers Park, or you made it to the Blacktop League. That's how I view it, because it's not entertaining. Like, nothing changed. But when you look at the NBA, you look at basketball overall in general, there's something that we like about basketball. Like, we like dunks, we like the passes, we like the aggression, we like that. In women's basketball, the closest thing that we get to a fight is, someone pushes someone and then a whole bunch of women run on the court. And every now and then, it's don't sound crazy, but we actually like to see stuff on the edge sometimes when it comes to sports. That's the whole purpose of playing sports, like pound for pound. Let's see who's going to push each other. Let's see who really wants to win.
And as we get ready to roll up out of here, I do want to give a big kudos, since right now it does sound like we're going down a rabbit hole that some people, especially women, may say, see, that's just like you men. That's how y'all see it.
Hey, Joe, Joe, before you get the kudos, could I just comment real quick, please, on this? because we're talking about the WNBA. So you want to talk about the exception, and you said no elevation. Let's talk facts now. Attendance, 1997, in arguably season, the average attendance was around 9,661 per game, dipping into 2000 to as low as 6,535 by 2019. Post-pandemic bounce. By 2023, attendance rebound to 6,615 per game. 2024, last year, breakout year. Attendance soared by 48%, Brother Bowtie, over the previous season to 9,807 per game, the highest in 22 years. League-wide, over 2.3 million fans attended games. Let's deal with the revenue and the finances. Media rights expansion, the WNBA inclusion in a new joint NBA media rights package is valued at $77 billion, with the league's portion increasing from $60 million to an expected $200 million annually. No elevation, fellas? Let's continue. 2023 revenue estimate roughly $180 to $200 million across the league and teams. 2024 franchise valuation surge. The Connecticut Sun sale for $325 million set a new record driven by soaring franchise values and investor interest. Now, last one, popularity boost and star power. WNBA viewership rose 67% during the 2023 season. Average viewers per game jumped to 556,000 with a significant gains in social media engagement. Last year, the 2024 season saw a 170% increase in ESPN viewership. Average 1.19 million viewers per game, marking it the most watched WNBA season. CBS alone saw an 86% rise in viewership, with one game peaking at 2.25 million viewers, the most watched on CBS in 23 years. Now, what Brother Bowtie said, the Caitlin Clark effect. Our team, the Indiana Fever, averaged around 17,035 fans per game, surpassing even the NBA Pacers. So that there, just like Magic and Bird back in the day, that Magic and Bird, and they go to the championship, and then they go to the Celtics, and Bird go to the Celtics, Magic goes to the LA. You're right there. But I want to go to Brother Elijah. That's the elevation there, my brother. That's the elevation. Now we put the numbers behind this to see where the power. So that's why I say I don't go down the road with Brother Bowtie on this, because we are seeing a surge now that with the WNBA. And that's why people are saying, pay them now. Don't wait 10 years while all the owners and everybody make the money and the players don't get the money. Pay them women now.
Well, and that was a great point, Brother Fatim. And those points are valid and those points are well welcome. And the women's sports is on the rise, regardless of how we as archaic brothers may sometimes see it. But here's what I want to end us with. A good, feel-good story coming out of North Kakalaki. And my man, actually, Willington, North Carolina, and Michael Jordan, who has opened his fourth free health clinic to support uninsured families in his hometown. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, that's what you do. That's what you do. You with all your millions, and I want to speak to every athlete out there with millions, especially if you're getting close to the billion mark, because there's a lot of athletes out there with a lot of money. Invest back into your community. If each one of you would invest back into your community and give an outlet of financial freedom in some shape, form, or fashion to the place you came from, man, just what a difference y'all all can make. I'm just saying. And you know, I was going to go down another rabbit hole, but I'm going to end on a positive tip. I'm not going to talk about lawsuits and certain folks. But this Michael Jordan story to me is a feel-good story. His fourth free clinic, free, to help uninsured and underinsured families in his hometown. With that being said, 19 minutes past the hour. Let's get some closing remarks. Let's start off with Elijah in sports. Elijah, tell us about the Fitz take, man. Let's get up out here.
Yes, thank you. I thank y'all for the support on the Fitz Take podcast. It's on every listening and visual platform from YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you have audio or listening platforms. The Fitz Take is on there. Our 2-man episode should be dropping. It dropped yesterday, I think. I'm gonna go back and look at it. And so we have a couple topics. We're talking about who's some Hall of Famers and who's first ballot, who's whatnot, and who's what. I appreciate the support and love again, but I want to ask, the viewers and guys on this panel, just lift up one lady I know in prayer. Her name is Naya Boo. I work with her. She's a lady that comes in the sports office from time to time just to check in and say what's up. Young lady. She comes in there all energetic. Yesterday, we found out that she was involved into a car crash, and right now she's was in ICU, but she I just got a text message saying that she smiled when she heard her mom named. They came down from Baltimore this morning, or the Maryland area this morning, I should say. And right now she's pushing through. She's pushing through. But continue to keep her in your prayers. She's a young lady that's very inspired and wants to do stuff in this world. And I don't think her life should be something taken away this early. So just continue to pray for it. I think that as we continue to make updates, I'll let you guys know. But just pray for her. Really, just pray for her.
We will, brother. Brother Bowtie, give it up for me, brother.
What it is, what it ain't, and what we gonna do about it. Let's talk about it. Let's do something about it. Brother Bowtie here. Growth doesn't live in comfort. Don't be afraid to step away from what's familiar. The life that you want will have to begins with you ending with some of the norms that you currently do. I am Brother Bowtie. If you wish to support me, follow me at everything Bowtie Untied or www.brothersbowties.com. You guys have a nice day.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Hold on, wait. In the words of my sister Alethea, be great in their face.
That part. Well, hey, brother, the esteemed alumnus of Community Conversations, # Truth Be Told, none other than Brother Fatim. Talk to me, Brother Fatim.
Good to be with you, brothers, again. Always, man. You guys are dropping it. Great to have this conversation, and I like where sometimes we have the banter back and forth. So I like that. And we'll get Brother Elijah, he's coming at me with the Mets. I'll see what team jersey I'll wear tomorrow. I might have to put a Pittsburgh jersey. No matter what the storm you're facing, keep your head high and your spirit higher. You weren't built to break. You were built to rise. Use every setback as a setup for a greater comeback. Keep moving with purpose. Speak life over yourself. And never let the noise silence your truth. Until next time, stay focused, stay fearless, and stay faithful. This is Brother Fatim, and you just got that #.
That part right there. Family, listen. Real simple. On the behalf of Sister Alethea, Sister Jackson will be back tomorrow. Brother Fatim, Brother Sean P with the Sean P Experience, Brother Bowtie. Definitely support him and Brother Elijah and everything they do. I am Joe Dupree. This is # Truth Be Told / JD Live. Your early morning. Get up, wake up. It is 23 minutes past the hour. As those who are headed back to school, have a great first day of school. Have a great school year. I got to give a shout out to my senior, my youngest of my crew, Pi Malik Anderson, going into his senior year, getting ready to graduate high school and make his next step into manhood. Bro, I love you. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. You and everybody else, go get it. Be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to bless somebody somewhere, some way, somehow, that there's no earthly way you could ever pay them back. Here's why. You want to feel good? Release a thing. The release and knowing that you didn't release it wanting or needing anything back will just put you in a place where giving won't be a problem. Because if you feel in your heart and spirit you should give, you can give and not be sitting there upset because you gave. That part. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he willing he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. Y'all go out there and have a great Thursday. Tomorrow is Freedom and Fun Friday as we make our way toward the weekend, baby. I'm up out of here. It's Friday Junior. Y'all have a good one. Peace.